Hotline, fellas, we'll jump into it. Just wait till you see what's happened to the Texans here in just one calendar month. We'll run it down with J.J. Watt there with the team for 10 years, no longer. Deshaun Watson, 4 years, soon to be no longer. But first, it's no longer Valentine's weekend. We're back. It's Monday. What did you do over the weekend? And then we'll jump into this huge story. No love lost between Watt, Deshaun, and the Texans.
I see what you did there, Zubin.
Too easy.
I had just normal weekend, really, for the most part, right?
Did the chef come over?
No. We went to brunch. And hung out as far as that go and watched a bunch of streaming things on. We streamed everything you can think of. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot you can really do right now, right? I mean, you would like to be able to get out and live a normal life, but we all know that that's not happening anytime soon.
No. Jay, what's up?
Just a ton of appreciation around the Williams household. Zubin, appreciation from my wife, everything that she's done. Little man on the way in April, so full plate this weekend, but it was good. It was relaxing.
My daughter actually woke up at about 5:30 Sunday morning and cooked breakfast. And, she cooked. So I heard something. I'm like,
5:30 a.m.?
Yeah, because we got up around 8. So she's got it was a whole deal. It was everything you could think of. And so I'm like hearing stuff. Me, I get to the edge of the stairs. I done peeked over. The door to the kitchen is closed. I'm like, so I go downstairs and I slide up a little bit. London? She didn't say anything. I opened it a little more. I said, London. And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll close it back. I knew what she was doing. Went back upstairs. So she, put the French toast together. She did, because she's got to cook for me and them, the things that I do from a vegan standpoint to regular food. So, yeah, she put it down, though.
How old is she?
8.
Huh?
Well, I'm sorry, 11. My son's 8. 11.
That's still pretty impressive for a
Oh,
mother.
yeah, no, she can get down. She's talented as far as I go.
Last thing I would tell you, just think about where we are before we jump right into the Texans. If I would have told you last year at this time, life would be consisting of sitting in your house, ordering in or cooking and watching a ton of Netflix or streaming Disney Plus for the company. And I would have told you a year later, man, I'm doing the exact same thing. We're eating in, we're watching a ton of streaming.
Yeah.
To Keith's point, a year later, really nothing has changed lifestyle-wise. It's kind of crazy.
No, it is. But I saw a lot of good stuff. I saw stuff that good as far as is entertaining and understanding the way people think in the world. But just some crazy stuff, Jay. Some of that stuff is just wild.
I got to tell you, Key, I don't know why I found myself down this rabbit hole. The whole Britney Spears docu. Did you watch that? Have you been watching it?
I watched it. It was cool. I mean, I guess for me, being from L.A. and being in L.A., so some of the stuff I kind of already know. It's so weird. Even though I didn't see the doc, the timeline of everything, I could catch on really fast. It's like, oh, okay, and this is what happened. And then you see it, it's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is what happened. Oh, I remember when this. So it's like when you start to see these things, The Night Stalker, is one where this serial killer from Los Angeles. And it's like, oh, yeah, I remember he was in that area and he did this and this is what it was. And you just follow the timelines along. This other one, I was telling Zubin, what was it, Peter?
Nygaard.
Yeah, Peter Nygaard from Canada. Man, he's a mess. Man, they ought to throw away the key 8 times on him whenever they convict him. No, I'm serious, Jay. You got to see it, man.
You're always watching some dark stuff, Key. You always be watching that crime stuff, man.
It is dark. There's no question about it. And I just was in my mind saying to myself, I would, if those was my kids, I'd be in jail. I wouldn't even, it's nothing to, I'm not allowing, I'm going to find him. I'm just going to find him. That's just how I am.
Let's just say this, the Britney doc that Jay talked about led to an apology from Justin Timberlake. A lot of people apologized this weekend, by the way, if you had your newsfeed up. But the Texans not apologizing for what they did with J.J. Watt. They said, hey, man, look, you gave us 10 great years. You're the face of the franchise. Hurricane Harvey. We know the whole story. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. I would imagine whenever he gets the call from the Hall, he's going to go in as a member of the Houston Texans. But, Key, this was a move. I said it on the surface when we talked about it Friday. Wow, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, a guy that's never even played.
Zubin, Key called him a progress stopper, though.
Right.
I was kind of shocked by that.
See, you've been in the media too damn long, Jay.
No, I
Because the first
haven't.
thing I say is progress stopper, and you go, "Oh my God, he's calling him sorry."
You
That's
say
not-
progress stopper. I mean, that's stopping progress.
Yes, he is a progress stopper for the guy that plays behind him. Whenever because you can't get right, he's better than the guy in front of him. I mean, behind him. So therefore, by being better than him, you'll never allow this guy, if you keep just hanging around, because he'll never beat you out. So therefore, you're stopping the young guy's progress from moving on a bad team. So you need to just move aside, go get your ring somewhere else, and let the young dude, whoever you draft or whoever's behind you at that position, learn how to play. Because as long as J.J. Watt is there, that other individual will never get a chance to play. It's not a bad thing, but the way it works in the media is there's certain words that people hear, like fired. Oh my God, he got fired. Well,
Yeah, you hijacked my amygdala. You said progress stopper. I was like, wait. But I hear what you're saying. It makes sense. I also would say this is just continues to be a poor reflection on the Texans, right? That J.J. Watt, a guy that literally went to Deshaun Watson and apologized. We have it on tape. Then decided to take the next step and say, hey, look, I want to do the right thing for me.
J.J. Watt.
You know, granted, this is probably going to be the right thing for you guys too, but let me get out of here. Let me go somewhere where I can win a Super Bowl title. Like, let me go back home to Green Bay, or let me go to Pittsburgh and play with my little brother. Let me actually enjoy these last couple years of my career. Whereas you see Deshaun Watson, who still feels like he's tied to this organization, and they're not letting go anytime soon.
well, they shouldn't let Deshaun go just walk out the building. J.J. Watt is toward the end of his Hall of Fame career. Now, much like Matthew Stafford, you allow him to now dictate what his next couple years moves are going to be. Don't hold him hostage because you want to be selfish in this situation. 25 years, Deshaun Watson is 25 years old. So you want to try to salvage the relationship, or you want to try to get as much as you can for Deshaun Watson. Nobody's going to trade you for J.J. Watt. That's why they just released him, because his age, his production isn't what it was when he was the MVP on the defensive side of the ball, defensive player of the year. I mean, it's just not. That's the reality of it. Can he help a team? Absolutely. Does he have 2 seasons of J.J. Watt type football left in him? You could probably squeeze some of that out of him. There's no question about it. But you're not getting defensive player of the year J.J. Watt for 16 games. You may get that, a game here or 2 or 3 games there. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And when you are older like that, eventually you will be moved.
And you got to think about it from this standpoint quickly. Number one, I know some people roll their eyes at this, and I get it, but the amount of goodwill he has engendered over his 10-year career, largely because of Hurricane Harvey. I knew you were going to go there.
I didn't say anything. I just laughed. I just laughed because you said some people have rolled their eyes.
I'm just telling you, 90% of people that are listening to this show right now are on the J.J. Watt train for what he did. I know you guys think it's been overblown and all that. I get it. The second thing I would say is keep in mind, Deshaun's in the prime of his career. Watt has been in the league 2.5 times longer than Watson, and Stafford has been in the league 3 times longer than Watson. So Watson's in his prime. Those other guys have gone through a terrible drought for 10 years, and for Stafford, it's been a dozen. So I'm just saying there's a little bit of a difference when you talk about them, because their best days are clearly behind them. Watson's best days are ahead, and that's a scary proposition for whoever gets it. Keyshawn, J. Will Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. All of our guests on the Goodyear Hotline. On the way, this will start setting it off. Stephen A. Smith weighing in with a Texas-sized swap that would change the face of the NFL. After Key has this from CVS.
Well, if I roll my eyes, Zubin, I'll have to go to CVS to get something to unroll them. At CVS, we look forward to savings